Greetings.
Hey guys.
Good to see everybody, and we're really pumped about being down here in Victoria now. Had a nice sleep and
Yes.
recovered and rejuvenated. And basically putting pedal to the metal with regards to getting the website still getting created, which is almost done. So that'll be up and running pretty soon, which will have a lot more information that we've had to give out so far. It'll have access to all the events. It'll have dates and locations and all that sort of stuff. So really appreciate everyone's patience in regards to that. I know there's a lot of people still waiting and wondering and looking on and really keen to see where things are at and what's coming from all that. So that's not too far away.
And a big thanks to everyone who's already been reaching out that have spoke to us personally about what we're doing and connecting us with some really powerful community groups and community initiatives that are going on locally to them, because we're really understanding exactly what we're focused on and what we're bringing with the Mental Wealth Summit. So thank you to everyone who's already been behind it already. It's been amazing. Hey.
Yeah, it's overwhelming actually. Because it has just been an idea and a concept that got birth about a month and a half ago, give or take. And we ourselves, we knew that people drew a lot of strength from our story when we opened up and shared. And that's sort of was the driving force behind us just following what we love to do, which is connecting and communicating with people and being out and being in amongst the crowds. And so that's what we love to do. So we are sort of setting the example of how following that purpose and passion of your own sort of heart's desire, but then with it, utilizing our past and our stories that we've been able to turn into our strengths as a driving force to really inspire others to get the information and the resources and the strength that they need to create an abundant strength and in themselves and in their mind, in their mental capacity. So just want to have a bit of a chat today, a little bit about what the discussion has been with us and around what we're doing, the discussions we've been having with others, that has really helped us get clearer on the message we're delivering, on the impact we want to have, on the challenges that we see in communities around, and the challenges that we've faced ourselves as well. So we had a really good discussion last night with a beautiful woman who we were speaking about the journey from the lead up to mental illness in all its forms and fashions, the crux of being in that space, the aftermath or the recovery process out of that, and then beyond that towards creating mental wealth and really creating a prosperous mindset to move forwards into as well, that is a really solid foundation that lasts the test of time as well. So I'll throw it over to you with respect to journeying back from the start, where we sort of see in unfolding and a big area that we're going to be speaking about with respect to where it all starts from, leading up to mental illness and being in the crux of that abyss.
Well, I think like with speaking to Lorraine last night, it was really eye-opening. We were asking her a lot of questions about what she was seeing, what we were seeing, the people that we were speaking to, and kind of the similarities and the differences between everyone that is going through mental health problems and DV and where they think change needs to be made. And as you're saying, like the before, during and after, and that repetition in those cycles as well. So I know, like, even leading up to what we're talking about, I think the power of the individual and really being able to own where they're at, and that power of being, emotionally intelligent and being able to really have that core strength of self-esteem and self-worth is really where it's at when it comes to going through any problems like that. Like, I know when I talk about DV, I talk about it like it's the bottleneck that is, it's at the very, very top, but underneath and everything that's kind of underpinned under that is mental health, self-worth, self-esteem, personal power, that feeling of personal freedom and choice. And I think because the cycle of before, during and after just keeps getting repeated, if we're not really communicating and showing people how they can achieve that in any situation, because most of the people coming out the other side of mental health problems and DV, the ones that come out of that successfully and break that cycle, are the people that that really have really worked on that strength, have really worked
core
at,
stuff.
yeah.
It's like if you don't pull out the weeds from the roots, they're just going to grow back again.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff we see with like the marketing, advertising around creating awareness around domestic violence and addictions and depressions, and this is geared towards that like the noisy part of it, which is when there's a woman or a man being beaten up by someone in the family, or if someone is depressed and going through suicidal tendencies, or going through severe anxiety. That's the noisy, loud part that you see, which is where it is being looked at. But the Band-Aid solutions to cover them up in the moment, not to take anything away from them, because they're 100% necessary, but we just feel that there's a massive opportunity and lack or a hole in what's being done to really dig deeper into where it all began and where it all started. And this is for both victims and perpetrators in whatever sense. And so touching on the DV as well, we recognize as well that so for me, I abused myself as opposed to, so I went inwards with my journey instead of being outwards. So perpetrators of domestic violence and different forms of abuse in that sense are people that are still in that same space, but they're projecting their anguish outwardly. Whereas the flip side of that, which was what I did, was project that inwardly and abuse myself. So it's the same sort of space that they're in mentally. Obviously their stories colored in with different colors, but we just see a massive opportunity to really dig down and share out. That's why we're sharing our stories as well, because it's about sharing where we were and what sort of led up to those experiences. Because for all intents and purposes, like I was a mischievous kid, but I wasn't that bad, right? I wasn't this I wasn't necessarily a red flag for going through the stuff that I went through, but yet that's where it led. Certain experiences I had led to where it led. So this is why we're sort of reaching out to communities in general, because there's a lot of parents out there, there's a lot of people out there who might feel that they haven't had those experiences yet, or their kids are okay, but you just don't know the little nuances that sort of lead to bigger issues. And if we are made aware of them to start with and help just give out more information and education around that to start with, well, then we're all going to be better prepared for when that happens. And also bringing communities together so they're there for one another. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. And it really is true. Like we're raised by our teachers, we're raised by our peers, we're raised by our local footy clubs and the people around us, not just our parents. So it really is a combined effort. And from our experiences as well, there's a little bit of a break in that community vibe and that community spirit in wanting to help. Like when there's something happening in the public now, everyone's more inclined to get out their phones and record it than to actually jump in and do something about it. So yeah.
And also on what's been really highlighted in my experience, I don't know if it's been in yours, but even the conversations we've been having about no one really knowing where these resources are, or not having one central location for knowing where like the DVAC centres are, or community initiatives that are out there to help while in that situation, but also afterwards, and the support that they can be getting within their communities. It's very much like who you know will give you the information about where to go to receive that support. And like it's passion of ours to be able to get on the ground level and actually initiate conversations with these groups and get them to appear at these events, so that those local communities up and above after we've left are having those interactions and are connecting within their communities as a tribe together, and also really understanding who's out there to help them, so that there's just less time of the suffering and more time of building the solutions.
Yeah, that was huge. Leanne last night? Lorraine. She was saying how like she works for an organisation that helps domestic violence cases for a legal firm, and she went into the local police station to just let them know that they're doing what they do. And the police were even like, where have you guys been? Why don't we know about this? They've been around for 15 years, and even the local police weren't aware of them. So there's this massive disconnect between what is available and what people know is available, and especially when you're in it as well, and you
Yeah.
could attest to this, is that you don't know what you don't know. So until you're made aware that there is even help out there, you just assume that, like, why would there be, or it's not even a thought that comes into your mind to go and look for something. And on the flip side of that, most people, they suffer alone, they suffer in silence. And a lot of the time, our perception of what we're going through just is what it is. It's not that big of a deal until hindsight comes in and you look back and see. But most people feel like what they're experiencing is just normal, the way life is. So that's another thing, is just to make aware the severity of situations that people can potentially be in, but also make aware how fucking amazing life, what is available to everyone, and how amazing life really can be. Because I know for me, like, I just assumed that life was the way it was. It was there was no potential to make it necessarily any better than what it was. It was the way it was. But so I think selling people and helping people understand what is available, what is truly available to them, will be inspiration for them to start looking for those solutions as well, but also making them aware of the severity of the situations that they could potentially find themselves in.
And I really want to say to everyone who has been watching what we're doing and interested, this mental wealth summit isn't just about anyone who's actually going through this as well. This is for people that are neighbours and friends and mothers and fathers and just people surrounding these people that are going through that stuff. Because another thing that kind of came up was, you know, how our friends handle it, and are we properly equipped to be listening and to open our doors for people, and so it's hard enough for the people going through those problems, but we also need to be sharing those stories and understanding and some solutions about if you're observing someone going through any of this, how to, you know, even correctly identify where they can go as well, and showing them the community groups, and also being a really loving support for them too, because it can be just as confusing about, you know, what's the right thing to do when you're watching someone that you love spiraling and you don't know where to send them.
And it is the collective, like 1 + 1 in this sense doesn't equal 2. 1 + 1 equals infinity. And so when we come together, like me and Sam don't have all the answers as much as we might speak
so.
do. But if we're going to, like, be honest there, we don't have all the answers. But we know that by yelling and screaming and you know, shaking our booties around the place, that we're going to collaborate and connect with some amazing people. And when great minds come together, great solutions come about. And you can chuck that on in your pipe and smoke it. That was a good one.
Bumper stick of that one.
Yeah, bumper stick of that one. But yeah, so that's one thing we're really excited about. We have really, other than the next 4 days and an idea of where we're going, we have no fucking idea where this is going to take us, who we're going to meet, what's going to come about. But we're also detached from any type of result or any outcome as well, and just really sitting in the journey and sitting in the process and open to anything coming about. So that's really exciting as well for us and for you guys, because it's not like we're here and we're holding back and just drip feeding information. It's literally like you guys are on this journey with us just as much as we are. It's unfolding for us as well. So that's another shout out to, if you guys have anyone that you feel is worth connecting with, or just for any formal fashion.
Send them our way.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's been really great with everyone who, like, everyone's been supporting us and knowing that, you know, the way that this has been going, and it's still an ongoing issue, and to anyone who's going through something right now, you just don't feel like there's any way out, and we need to find other ways. We need to find other ways of supporting people within our communities, being supportive of ourselves, and finding different ways that we do things, because if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over, those cycles will continue. You are still going to go to those default settings of how you've coped with things, and you know, it starts to travel down the generations. We need to find a different way of how we are relating to each other, how we're supporting each other, and how we're self-supporting as well.
Yeah, and mental health, like when I thought of mental health back in the day, it was people that were, you know, depressed or anxious or suicidal or going through these sort of these experiences. But a book that I read from Abraham Maslow, and most of you might be aware of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is that mental health isn't just feeling shit. Mental health is if you're not at your peak mental capacity, if you're not enthusiastic, if you're not full of vibrance and energy, right? If you're not passionate,
mind.
if you're not living and being drawn towards your purpose and living with passion, then there is a mental illness or mental dis-ease with wherever you're at. And so it's not just about helping people with suicidal thoughts or depressions or people that are in domestic violence situations or going through addictions, because it's so much more than that. It's getting to this mental wealth, as this prosperous mental state where you are excited to get up every morning, that you are passionate about what you do, that you listen to your soul, your heart, your intuition to guide you, that the judgments that things come from external places roll off the duck's back, or if they do trigger you and challenge you, you're equipped with the tools to meet them and accept those challenges as an opportunity to grow within yourself as well. So I'm getting tingles talking about this. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, so it really is, mental wealth isn't just a buzzword, but it's where it's at. It's a beautiful place, because when you get to that space as well, and me and Sam have our own challenges. We fucking crying almost every second day, right? Like it's not without challenge. That's the other thing to recognize, is that the challenges are massive opportunities to keep leveling up, and it is infinite levels of leveling up. So, but it does get a fuckload easier, and it does become a lot more blissful and joyful, the process of the challenge and the triggers as well along the journey.
And understanding that, like, not only that you're worth, investing your time and energy and having that healthy mind and having that mental wealth, but also, like, you're excited about the challenges that are coming up, that you actually feel powerful, that you have the capabilities to go after everything that you want in your life, that you can, that you're not, second best to anybody else. You're not, like, you have the power.
You're not your story. You're not your past. Yeah.
You're not the labels that are put on you. You're not kind of defined by what you have done. You are defining yourself about what you can do going forward, and being strong within that. And it is really exciting. It is really exciting when you can use those tools, use those things that we're always talking about to move forward and just go after what you want and just have the life that you want. You don't have to be stuck or trapped in where you are. You have the ability to feel free in every situation.
Yeah.
You're laughing.
Well, a little secret is, like, you already got it. You already got it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a lot more to be said on that. But you have anything else you want to touch on?
Not just yet. I mean, we're going to be doing a few more videos about the challenges that we have, and as Matt said, like, we're still being challenged. We've had a lot of challenges just to be able to get to this point, doing this live video now, and it's still ongoing, trying to settle that out. And I don't know about you, but I'm really excited. The more challenges I seem to face, the more I feel like we're doing the right thing, because it's really made me committed to really being on the ground and going forward. But we are going to talk a little bit more about, what it's taken to actually get here and what that really looks like when you can, like, with committed action to doing something. How powerful it is when you do overcome those challenges, when you feel like you're being called on your soul mission to achieve something and what you're trying to do. So I'm excited to talk a little bit more about that as well.
One of the things, conversations I've been having with a lot of people, is people in just your regular sort of situations, employment situations and jobs and businesses, but who feel like they're counsellors at the same time. So my mate who I caught up with, Jack, who's a plumber, hairdressers, like people that are in service jobs as well, or retail type jobs, hospitality situations. We're met with so many people that offload on us and share what's going on, and to have that capacity to then really help those people out and just be a beacon in their life, that could just be one simple conversation that helps them get from where they are now to where they want to be, is a really, really powerful space to be in, a real powerful tool to have, a real powerful level of communication and compassion and understanding and knowledge to have, and to be that person walking around your community. So that just those small little influences you can have on people, that's another thing that I think people will get from joining us at the summit and being with us and following what we're up to, is just turning themselves into a fucking weapon of mass awesomeness.
And people want to do good in the world. We've seen so much kindness and support, and the more that we are sharing our stories with everyone else, and understanding that no one is alone in this world. There's people around us, and people do want to do good things and do want to support and genuinely will help you for no other reason other than to see someone near them doing well. And the more that we can stop isolating ourselves and feeling that loneliness, and bringing everyone into a community and sharing and understanding and supporting, the more powerful we're all going to be, just doing anything. Whether it's having a child for the first time, whether it's going for a new job, like all those practical everyday life experiences we're going to be sharing those, and the communities are going to be sharing them together. It's just where we are now, you can actually feel that sense of community in the air, and it's a really beautiful thing to know that if something was to ever happen, that everyone is helping one another. That's a huge focus of mine, is everyone really coming together to solve a problem together, so that individually we're all being strong for everyone around us as well, and being really good role models for the future generations coming forward as well.
Shout out to Murbo North for being an amazing place to have grown up, an amazing place to be, visit, and so many beautiful people here. I think it's amazing. It starts with the individual though. The community spirit, right, is fantastic, but that's a symptom of individuals. Communities, businesses, organizations, they're made up of individuals. So it starts with the individual. It starts with you, and it starts with me, and it starts with Samantha, and the way that we show up every single day, in every single moment to moment. That's where it starts, and what happens from that is symptoms of the way we wake up every single day, and the way we approach our own challenges and our own lives.
100%. I have nothing more to add to that. Fully agree.
Cool. Guys, you're amazing. Love you a lot. Thanks for tuning in. See all your beautiful faces. And we're looking forward to come around. We will be, if you're anywhere on the East Coast, we will likely be in a location near you. So stay tuned. We're going to be every 2 to 3 hours basically up the coast every couple of days. We're going to be doing an event. So just stay tuned. We're smashing out the website that's still getting created. So when that's done, you'll have all the information that you need. It's so last minute, but again, just setting that example.
What I love about it though is that it is just so pure what we're trying to do, right? Like it's not all about the shiny and all about the what it looks like and everything like that. It's purely just a message from us and our stories, and being able to connect with everyone who's been following us and in these towns to make a difference. So the layout of the websites and everything like that has been kind of second. I mean, it has been for me, then actually connecting with people and getting out there and having those conversations and making that impact, whereas from where it comes from. So yeah, bear with us while we put that all together. But if you have suggestions or you have people that you want to connect us to, that's really what this is all about, is that connection and making that difference, and where this is really coming from within us, and the change that we're trying to make. So yeah, bear with the website.
And even our story as well. Like our story is just a precipice for everyone else's. It was really more about your guys' experiences and your stories. Yes, you guys are going to, and the people that see us are going to draw from our experiences. Fucking dragonflies everywhere. Are going to draw from our expression and our experiences. But really, we're still going to be on our own journey, where the people in your community are going to be the ones that are then sharing your experiences and passing on that information and letting it trickle down into the masses as well. So it's really more so about your guys' experiences and your stories, and helping you really pull out the gold from what you've been through, turning what pains and challenges you've already gone through into your gifts, so that you can bestow that on the people around you and allow them to see that same awesomeness within themselves, and then really transmute that dense energy that sort of holds most people back or keeps people in cycles into a catalyst for helping them move forwards and helping the people around them move forwards as well.
Oh, there we go. Dragonflies, good sign.
I'm so spiritual. I got a rock. Oh God, love you guys. All right, cool.
Yep, we're good. Yep.
Look, I'll show you where we're at. This is my mum and dad's property down in Melbourne North.
It's the most beautiful place.
Got the bush. Oh, you can't really see. Yeah, got the pool there. Got the chickens down the end there. Guys, again, cheers for hanging out. We'd really appreciate you helping us shout about this. Just when the website's ready and the events are up, we'll start smashing it out there and bamboozling everyone's pages and filling up everyone's pages with what we're up to help connect with people in the local communities. So yeah, if you guys can help us shout about that, that'd be great. But in the meantime, keep being awesome. Give us a shout out if you want to connect, or if there's any questions you guys have, or if there's anyone you think we should be connected with. And in the meantime, love you guys lots.
Thank
and we'll
you,
look forward to
guys.
seeing you. Be Fierce Live video.